Yo, yo, what is good? I'm on. Welcome to another episode of Player Life here in Tokyo. Today's Monday the 16th of November. Almost coming up to the end of the year. It's crazy. But today I'm on. I tried out StreamYard. I'm kind of just learning as I go. I haven't even studied how to do live streaming. I'm just kind of. I was looking up how to add comments just like 5 minutes before going live today, but I'll figure it out. We'll see what happens. I came on StreamYard just because I want to be able to add comments to the chat. What's up? Know your worth in the house. Hey, I put up your comment. I figured that out. Simple eyes. What's up, man? So another Monday here in Tokyo. It's all had a good weekend. I was at a party with MLD on Saturday night with a bunch of hotties. We were outnumbered by hotties. It was a good time. There were way more chicks. The ratio was very good. It's always good to go to a place where the ratio where there's a lot more chicks than there is dudes. Look something like this maybe. As you can see, a lot of chicks and very few dudes, but it was a good time. I got pretty wasted, to be honest. Recently, I've been falling off the wagon, but it was a good night. We stayed out till like, God, I don't know. I didn't get home till maybe 11 a.m. the next morning. I went over to MLD's house and we did a dude party. We live streamed dude party. I don't even want to watch the. I don't even want to watch the episode because I don't like listening to myself when I'm drunk. But I don't even know what I was saying. But let's see. Know your worth says I'm setting up the date with that attorney. Good stuff. Oh God. Setting up the date with attorney. You saw the MLD stream. Good stuff. I don't know what I was saying. I think we were talking about high value men or something. That was like, I don't know what time that was. That was like 4 a.m. Tokyo time. And I mean, it was a good night though. I can't even remember where we went. I don't know. It was a good time though. There was a lot of chicks out. 4 a.m. Yeah, I mean, I just remember coming home on the train, barely making it home. I think I fell asleep on the subway, and I missed my stop. And I don't know. I ended up somewhere really far away. It was a good night out in Tokyo, but I didn't seal the deal with anyone on that night. But there was plenty of shenanigans. There were some real hotties at the party. It was a good time. I'll definitely be following up with some of the girls I met there. But it's all good. What's up, Gray Fox? Yo, yo, yo. I'm able to show comments now. I'm on the old StreamYard. Know your worth says, waxing on about having the puppy pill ready for pulling girls. Yeah, I wish I had a puppy. If you saw this, MLD has a puppy. Yeah, the puppy pill is crazy. Anytime, sometimes I've looked after Happy, MLD's dog, while he's been away, and I take it out, and it's insane. If you have a little dog, and you're walking around with it, you'll get a lot of attention from chicks. Uh, I didn't, I didn't even try. I wasn't even actually wasn't even trying to game when I had his dog, because I was just kind of not in the mood. But I had girls, I had girls coming up to me and, like, just stopping in their tracks and, like, trying to. I had girls taking photos of me on the train and stuff, because I had a dog. Um, oh, what's up, Miguel? What is good? Good to see you in here. Good morning. Where I guess it's morning where you're at. But yeah, today I just wanted to talk about the importance of taking risks. You have to, especially with day game. It really boils down to, if you're not in, you can't win. Like, if you know 1 p.m. Yeah, it's not too early, lunchtime. Uh, which part of Spain are you in, Miguel? What part of Spain is it? I have good memories from Spain. I was in like, when I was a teenager, I was in Salou, I think. So Madrid. I've never been to Madrid. I've never been to the big cities. I've just been to small beach towns. Um, yeah, but yeah, I mean, Spain was a good time. I mean, I used to go over. I mean, I went over to Spain a few times when I was, like, 14 or 15 with my family, and in Ireland, the weather. I'm from Ireland, so the weather's really, it's cold and rainy. So there's definitely no nudity on the beaches in summer. You just don't see it. But I always remember going over to Spain and being stunned by seeing, like, naked chicks on the beach. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, hot chicks too. Just totally like, it's unbelievable. I want to live, yeah, Spain. I'd like to live in Spain. Spain would be a good spot. You wouldn't see that in Japan. You wouldn't see, like, definitely they'd wear a bikini, but they definitely wouldn't go topless. Uh, but yeah, I always remember going over to Spain and just being blown away by hotties on the beach. Uh, yeah, but I mean, I was a kid. I was like 15. I had zero game back then. But I wish I had. I mean, it was yeah. I remember it was the first time. I think, yeah, I went over to Spain when I was 15 with my family, and I think it was my first time to get wasted. I got yeah, I started, yeah. I think it was the first time I ever got wasted was in Spain. Um, let's see. Salou is Tarragona, very close to Barcelona. Um, yeah, I think it was close to Barcelona, but I didn't even go to visit Barcelona. But yeah, God, yeah, once all this lockdown stuff stops, I have to go back to Spain. Let's see. Know your words says, Mac, you should come surfing with me to La Costa del Morte. Don't be worried about the name Coast of Death. Cool, man. I'd love to go surfing. I used to surf regularly in Ireland. Uh, we have a lot of people don't know that Ireland has really good waves, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I miss most about Ireland, actually, is surfing. It's uh it's kind of a hidden secret. Ireland is like the cold Hawaii. That's what a lot of pros come over to Ireland to surf, and yeah, I'd love to get back into it. It's a really cool sport. I gotta say, but I don't know Japan. I used to live up. If you heard of this, Fukushima. So Fukushima is this place in Japan where the nuclear disaster happened, and that's right on the coast of like, and apparently where Fukushima, the nuclear power plant, where they had the meltdown, right in front of the nuclear power plant used to be a surf spot, and that's it can never be surfed again. Well, I used to live just like an hour north of Fukushima, and people would surf just like an hour north. Apparently, they would pump. They were pumping because there was a nuclear power. The factory there was a meltdown, and there's a huge problem. But apparently, I don't know what was happening, but this nuclear power plant was right on the coastline. So the nuclear reactors melted down, and they were pumping seawater to cool it down or whatever. And the seawater was going like right back out into the ocean. And you know, I don't know. I went surfing like I used to live in Sendai, an hour north, and people would still surf on up there. This is like 5 years. 5 years. That meltdown was in 2011, and I when I got there in 2015, people were surfing, but I didn't like the idea of going surf. I did. I went in a few times, to be honest. I went surfing. I'm still alive. We'll see. I'm not glowing yet, but you know. Let's see. Gray Fox says, "Do you spam approaches in clubs?" I mean, the more when I'm in clubs, clubs are not for meek people. Clubs are not for guys that are willing to. You got to have energy in clubs. If you're gonna get butthurt about getting rejected after one approach, you're done for. I mean, in a way, you just gotta get hyped up in a club and just be like really like kind of aggressive and yeah, spam approach. Some people like you got to be kind of strategic about it. I mean, some in sometimes it's better to post up in a club if you have a spot. Then you can kind of like snag girls instead of like bouncing around. And if there's one thing, like, wait, first of all, you should just be there trying to have a good time. And if you're having a good time, then you're not going to be worried about getting rejected or whatever. But the reason sometimes it's good to post up at a spot and wait for girls to pass by you, so that you're not seen to be like walking around the club approaching all these girls and getting rejected. So you're a little bit more inconspicuous if you can just yeah. But then again, another approach could be just to be bouncing around and not giving a shit. That I don't overthink it. But there's one thing for sure: you got to put in the numbers. It could be like you could get lucky. I mean, it could be the first girl you approach with, you hook up with, and you could take her home. Like, it's the same with day game. Exact same thing. It's like you could do like 20 approaches in a day and get rejected by every single one of them, and then the very next day you go out and you could take home. You could literally have an insta date and have sex with the first girl you approach. That's why day game is really fun, because it's like really unexpected things can happen. but it's not random. You're making it happen, and you're taking risks. Uh, so that's the thing. And then it works in weird ways. I mean, you could like I said, you could do 20 approaches on the street and get like I don't know, get some. You might get a contact or whatever, but ultimately you failed pretty much. You got overwhelmingly rejected. And then the next day you go out, first girl you approach, she comes on an Insta date and she comes back to your house and sucks your dick. And it's a crazy, it's a fun time. Or it could be that you do like 10 approaches and you get maybe 3 or 4 contacts. You're successful with 3 or 4 of them. Then 2 of them ghost you, and 2 of them come around and do the deeds. So there's sometimes random things can happen. I don't know. Like I've had times where I've stacked up all these contacts, and so I've stacked up, maybe let's say I stacked up like 10 or 15 numbers, right? And then I just like they all line up in one week. Like it's like Monday, Tuesday, Monday, new girl, Tuesday, new girl, Wednesday, new girl, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a whole week of every day a new girl. That's like that has happened like on multiple occasions. But I mean, obviously that's kind of rare, but I have had the lucky number 7 happen to me multiple times. But that takes I don't want to call it luck because I made it happen, but it has to kind of line up well with everyone's schedule. But it's all about getting the contacts. Miguel says day game is the cheat code. Day game with a puppy is the cheat code. That's for sure. Try day gaming with a cute puppy, or or a cute dog, even if it's fully grown. But if it's a puppy, it's really cheating. It's really, really cheat mode. And if you look good too, if you're dressed well and you're looking handsome, then oh my god, that's easy mode. Puppy game is good for so many reasons, because first of all, the puppy's cute. Everyone likes a cute puppy. I like dogs anyway, but a cute puppy, it's cute. Then the fact that you have a puppy makes you instantly more trustworthy. Just the fact that you're taking care of a little dog shows that you're like somewhat safe to be around. I don't know, just and in somewhere like Tokyo, it's a status symbol, because if you have a dog to take care of, you have the resources to pay for it. A lot of people wouldn't be able to have a dog because they have to work. They have to, especially in Japan, people are worked like slaves here. It's a lot of people really get ripped off. Japanese people, they really get slapped around by their companies. But yeah, that's a bit of a side note. I was a bit of a depressing subject, but I'm on the train, and the train suddenly stops, and there's an announcement. There's been a human accident, and whenever there's a human accident, that means that someone jumped out in front of the train. It's quite irregular. It's quite dystopian, but it is part of big. Tokyo is just such a giant city. Let's see. Gray Fox, does aggressive style physical touches in clubs work in day game? Yes, it does. you need to have kind of a very good understanding of female body language and reading the air to pull it off, though. Um, yeah, there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place. It's something like the further into the evening, or if it's on a weekend and you're in a nightlife, you're in a kind of a nightlife quarter. Uh, physical touches can work for sure, especially if it's they're going from bar to bar, and you know a typical place that is I often do street game is just downtown in a nightlife kind of area, and chicks would be going from maybe with their friends or whatever, going from bar to bar, and then you stop them on the street and you have a bit of banter, and you're just cheeky, and you make them laugh, and you're taking risks, and you goof around, you just joke around with them. I often get them to touch me before I even try and touch them. So joke around, and we start talking. Oh, do you play sports? Do you go to the gym? And then you know they'll say like no or yes or whatever their answer is, and then they'll ask me, and I'll go, yeah, I do. I go to the gym. I have a six pack. I'm really strong or whatever. Just playing around, and then they'd be like, oh, can I touch it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then they touch me. Yeah, it starts. That's usually this kind of banter on the streets. Uh, Usually this is at nighttime though. This isn't. It's a little bit. If it's like afternoon, lunchtime, you're not gonna be grabbing a chick's ass. Like you're not gonna be like turn around, let me see that ass. You might. I don't know. Maybe you could pull it off, but usually you don't get so physical in day game. Uh, if it's not like into the evening, if it's not, clubs are really physical though. You can get physical real quick, and there's plenty of ways to to get physical. I mean, you can start with light touches on the arm, and then you know what I often do is like I'll stop her. I'll do have a bit of banter. I'll say let's have a drink, and but as we're going for the drink, I'll have my hand just on her back, like not on her ass or anything, but like lower back. And if the more comfortable you get with them, you can lower and lower the hand down, and you can see how they respond. Um, and usually, in a club, it can get pretty sexual pretty quickly. I mean, it's a club. I mean, come on. Um, especially the way these chicks are dancing. It's all good. But the only way I dance is when I. The only way I dance in a club is when a chick is like in front of me, grinding on me. That's why I like clubs, because you can do stuff like that. Let's see. Night brings out the devil in girls for sure, for sure. These girls, they want to have fun. They definitely want to have fun. That's for sure. I mean, in their party years, they're girls are partying for longer and longer these days. Back in the day, they would have tried to lock down a guy much younger, but in this current era, girls are starting to drag it, party from like back in the day, say 20, 30 years ago. Girls would have partied from 18 to 25 probably max, and then when they're 25, they would try and like lock down a guy. But the way feminism teaches women that they're all kick-ass and they can do just as much as guys. It's getting later and later, and eventually they'll realize that, oh, I'm too old now, I'm not actually going to be able to lock down a guy. or a high quality guy, a valuable guy. Jason B, what's good, bro? What's up? What is good? Thank you for joining. Miguel says, have you ever experienced a girl you dumped getting back with her after a while for a day to revenge ghost you straight after? Happened to me recently. So you're saying, okay, okay, well, I mean, so you're saying you dumped her and you got back with her just for a booty call or something like that. I mean, if you're dealing with chicks that you already dumped, they're gonna be usually very bitter about it. So, you want to be aware that you shouldn't. You should just. It's only going to be a booty call because I mean I've had girls where I've they've been like whatever friends with benefits, and they wanted something more, but when I come clean to them, when I finally when they really realize that they're definitely not going to be anything more than friends with benefits. They'll often a lot of these girls will try and make me jealous, but they don't know I'm a super pimp, so they'll try and tell me that oh like they hooked up with another guy, or he's like these girls will throw out these things like, and they just don't realize that it has no impact because and that even drives them crazy. That drives them crazier. But that has happened before where maybe a girl has met me one last time, and then she lets me know that she's like going on dates with other guys and whatever. But what they don't realize is that I don't know. I know too much. I'm too jaded. Like I don't know. I don't even know if it's possible for me to love a girl and like it probably is possible. Like I can love a girl. I'm human. I'm not like I'm not like psychotic or anything. I don't have. But I mean, like, I don't think it's possible for me to get my heart broken. Like I don't think I could invest that much. I think it's just I'm past that. I don't know. But I kind of gone off topic. But I all you gotta say is if they ghost you, there's not really much you can do other than thirst trap on your social media. Just show her what. See, the thing is, you can't really change these chicks' minds. You can just show them by if you're interested in getting a chick back or whatever. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be trying to get girls back, because once you've dumped a girl, it's not really smart to go back digging through the trash. What is Rolo Tomasi says something about that. I can't remember how he puts it, but he says something like once you throw out the trash, you don't go back rooting through it or whatever. It's just better to find other options. I mean, what's the point in going for something that you've already, nothing really good will come from it. There'll always be that bitter kind of, oh, you dumped. There's a lack of trust on the girls' side. They'll kind of want revenge, even if it seems like they're happy to get back with you at the start. There'll be like some kind of revenge thing going on. Okay, let's see. Not trying to get her back. Got others being spun, but was just curious about the dynamic. Yeah, I think. She's probably just trying to regain some power. You dumped her, so she's trying to regain some power over you because she knows that you dumped her, and she probably knows you just want a booty call. So she's feeling like she's getting revenge on you. It is what it is. It happens, of course. Let's see. Gray Fox says, "Are Japanese girls good in bed?" I mean, it really depends on the girl. You know, the burden of performance is always on men anyway. By like by a girl being good in bed, um, it is it is basically, girls don't, they perform to some degree, but as me being a dominant guy, it's more like them just complying. So for me, a girl that is good in bed is first of all good looking. She has the features that I like: nice legs, nice, well groomed, nails, well taken care of bush, uh, and compliant. That's what makes a girl good in bed. So yeah, like if those are the standards of what I think girls are good in bed, but yeah, they're good. Um, I mean, really, a girl being good in bed just requires her to be, somewhat engaged and being hot, like, because it's down to it's us that are doing the work. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not kind of exhausted after banging a girl, then you're not really doing it right, in my opinion. You should be like, you know, when guys bang, like, if you're not like, it should be like athletic. You should like actually be. Usually, I'm like dripping in sweat when I'm done because I'm putting in work. I pick them up, like, I like when they're petite, so you can just like lift them up, and that really impresses girls. That'll get a girl off a lot if you like get them in the position, stand up position, bear hug them, bang bang. Like, I've done it in front of that mirror many a time. That mirror has seen a lot of action, a lot of action. It's yeah, but what is good, Brendan? Brent in the house. Um, what's good, Brent? Um, let's see. EC says, "Are they bushy or bald over there?" It really, yeah, again, it depends on the girl. A typical kind of more traditional Japanese girl would tend to have a bit of a bush, but um, girls that deal with like foreigners tend to know the deal. So they tend to, it's getting more and more popular on the trains here. There's all these advertisements for laser hair removal, so it's getting more and more popular, and that's a good thing in my eyes. Japanese girls, when they go all out, um, they they're all in or all out. But the thing is about Japanese girls, even if they have a bush, a lot of girls will actually get like laser hair removal for their entire, like, from the neck down. They will get laser hair removal. So, like, in Western girls will often have hair on their arms. Japanese girls will never, ever, ever, ever have hair on their arms. Another thing that surprised me actually when I went back to Ireland, I noticed girls, like, it's quite noticed because when you're in Japan, you're spoiled. You're spoiled with femininity. You the girls, you never see a hairy arms on a girl, but pretty much every, like, Western girls will have hair on their arms. Like, it's kind of surprising to see when I go back to Ireland. But you know, uh, like I say, yeah, it's getting laser. They get laser over here, and it's getting more popular. Um, you know, and I like that. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the laser. It's just more, yeah. Let's see. Gray Fox, how do you dirty talk them? I mean, I'm getting, I learned a lot of Japanese through these sexual encounters. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna bust it out here, but Yeah, I can do it in English or Japanese, but you know, girl, like I think girls get off on like compliments more than being, nor like there's more than being insulted. Like there's some guys think that to be dominant, you have to like insult them by calling them, like saying like kind of vulgar things. But what I noticed is I don't mean you got to simp to them, and you're like, oh, you're so like I love you, or like I love you so much. But you can say things like, oh, you're like your pussy's so good or something. I can't even do it. I can't really do it here, talking to a bunch of dudes. But I'll I noticed that the best combination is when I'm being really dominant, but like saying how good their pussy is, or like complimenting them and saying how good it feels. That really tends to be a really fiery combination for these girls, when you're being like really physically dominant, but telling them how good it is, basically. You can use your imagination as to how I do that, but you should try it out. Let's see. AC says, I like them slick nowadays. Back in the day when I was growing up, it was all bush. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I mean, I don't know. I'm not, I'm not going to say no if, it's not going to be a deal breaker if it's bush. But once you get with girls with like a perfectly smooth, pussy, it doesn't really, it's just nicer. It's aesthetically, it looks better. I mean, it tastes better. No one wants a bush in their face when they're eating pussy. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a thing of beauty when it's totally lasered off. So I'm all about girls that get the laser done, completely smooth. Thing about Japanese girls tend to have much like better skin. I mean, like I'm pretty much like just a dog, so I like girls of all ethnicities, but some ethnicities have I have preferences, and maybe it's kind of grown on me. Japanese girls have grown on me. I never had like yellow fever or some like fetish for Asians, but just the overall quality is much higher. Uh, just like genetically, uh, even just the way their lifestyle is healthier, and then their aesthetics, like they take care, they know how to dress, they know how to wear makeup. It's just it's a good thing. um let's see. Gray Fox says, heard you do boxing. Have you used it in Japan so far? I mean, I don't do boxing anymore. I used to spar a little bit. But I never did it. I never did competition. I was really into boxing for about 2 years, I'd say, before I yeah, I mean, I no box. I love boxing. I love watching it, but the reason I quit is, you see, I need to be fully in something to pursue it. And when I was 15, I fell off. I fell off a bike and I smashed my teeth. These are like fake. I have fake teeth. The two front ones, they're like titanium screws. But I hit the concrete and smashed my teeth. But anyway, I basically put them back in, and without, like, literally picked up my teeth and put them back in. Went to the dentist and they put braces on them, and the root was dead. But so this was about I think I was around 20. I started boxing, and I was training. For about a year, and then I started sparring, and I just got my, I was just casually sparring with this guy. This guy was actually way like in a different weight class. He was much bigger than me. He was, he was, yeah, he was a different weight class. But he just hit me with a right, like straight right, just bust out my teeth, and just because there was no root in them. So I basically it kind of it was kind of expensive. I had to get like fake teeth, so it's kind of I took a break from boxing and I didn't really go back to it. Kind of maybe I should have, but whatever. I just getting titanium, getting screws into your teeth is no fun. But that's a bit of a side note. I have not had to use boxing in Japan so far. Uh, Japan is it's not a very aggressive country. It is. I mean, you'd have to go out of your way to get in a fight here. There was one time some guy got a little cheeky. Well, more than cheeky. He squared up to me, and I don't know why. He was pissed. He was pissed drunk, and he I pushed him away, whatever, and his friends dragged him away. I just shoved him really hard, and his friends took him away, and then he got about 10 meters away from me, and he broke away from his friends trying. In Japan, this really funny thing they do. It's really hilarious, actually. But in Japan, there's like almost never any fights. I've never, rarely, But what they're kind of pussies, to be honest. I gotta be honest. What they do is they don't fight. This is known amongst. This isn't just me. Japanese admit this too. This is kind of culturally known in Japan. Like people don't want to fight here. They don't actually want to fight. So they'll pretend. They'll act all tough and wait for their friends. Like they'll square up, but this happens in groups, and they'll have their friends like holding them back. Like they don't actually want to fight. They actually want their friends to hold them back. And this kind of thing was happening anyway. And he came up. He what did he do? He just charged at me. He broke away from his friends and he charged at me, and he swung for me, and he slipped. I just dodged him like easy dodge, like just slipped to the side, and he slipped. The ground was wet, and he spun round and landed like back on his head. Like I heard it like cracked off the concrete. I didn't even have to touch the guy, but he cracked his back of his head on the concrete, and I like he was even though he cracked, like I thought this guy was going to be dead from the crack hitting his head, but he was getting up to like looking like he's going to have a go at me. So I just got him in a chokehold and like get him in a choke. If you ever get someone in a chokehold, push your thumb into the back of their ear. There's just if you push your thumb in, there's a pressure point. It's the most painful thing ever. And he did not want to have anything to do with it. His friends picked him up and took him away. But that's a bit of a side note. MLD in the house. What is good? Mac Daddy indeed. Good stuff. That was a wild night we had. It was a good time. Saturday night. Let's see. Brent says, "Hey Mac, how do you know if you're escalating too fast with a girl back at your place?" Well, when a girl's back at my place, there's no such thing as escalating too fast. I always escalate pretty nifty. I can usually tell. I can tell by the vibe. It's not, you got to read the air. I was talking about I was on a dude party and I was with MLD. I was talking about reading the air and reading body language. You got to feel the vibe. I guess this takes practice. I guess I take it for granted that I've had a lot of experience with hundreds of women, so you kind of learn, you kind of know like how to escalate or when to escalate, or sometimes like you just get the vibe and you know immediately I don't have to do any talk here. I can just get it on right now. On Thursday night, I had a girl that I just knew from the vibe, straight from Bumble. she was she talked about just matched her, and she was like, oh, I was like, let's meet up after work. It's 10 p.m. and she was like, oh, can we have do you have drinks in your place? She said that in the Bumble. And if a girl says that, that's for example, that's an example of where I know immediately that I don't have to pretend. She's probably not going to have much any shit tests. It's probably just going to be, she's going to come over, and we're just going to get it on. And that's exactly what happened. This girl was, very very nice girl, very refreshing. Because sometimes these girls that come over, like straight up, home deliveries, they can be weird girls. Like like on Monday, I had a weird girl, like I just a SJW type, half like kind of grew up in America for a while, had this real strong American accent. It just didn't vibe with her, like, but she was a home delivery, as I call them. They just straight from the app, straight to the house. And anyway, same thing with her, to be honest. But this girl, anyway, the girl on Thursday was actually a cool girl. But sometimes you just know. So she comes in, and I just like, she's like, what should I do? What should I, 'cause I was like, sit down there. I have a couch over here. I was like, sit down, relax. And I literally just sat down like 5 seconds, and she's like, so what are we gonna do? Just talk? And like, she wanted to get it on immediately. So I just stood her up. I always bring her. I always do it. Just I say, how tall are you? So just stand them up, put them in front of the mirror, stand behind them, and just put my hands down to feel out their waist, feel her, start kissing her neck, like, escalate like that. MLD says text to sex. Very, very, yeah. This isn't going away anytime soon, and MLD is taught all about this insult. This is real. Like online is day game is super super valuable, but this technology is undeniable. You cannot deny that this is the thing that's not going away anytime soon. You got to get your online profiles. You got to maximize because you can get girls right around to your house. It's pretty phenomenal. It's just home deliveries like Uber Eats. God, it was such a good time on Thursday night. What a good time. Let's see. Play on Woro. Konbanwa. Konbanwa indeed. Yeah, what is up? Genki desu ka? MLD says the best thing ever. Yeah, I mean, home deliveries, when you get a home delivery, a girl that comes right round to your house, and she's, like I said, she's a good, like a cool girl, a hot, cool girl, not weird, not like, you'll realize that, you want to get your you want to get your dating profiles looking as good as you can, because this is very, let's just say it's very efficient. Miguel says, taking risk teaches you a lot. Reference experiences are key. The more you do, the more you see, and thus the more you learn. Exactly, indeed. The more you do, the more you learn. You got to put in the hours. You got to put in the reps, and it's not work. It's fun. I mean, you're chasing tail. Like, it's not, indeed. So you're having fun and you're learning. It's a buzz, man. It's a rush when you approach hotties and get their, and just get their number, or go on an Insta date. When you finally do the deed, it's like, damn, yeah, I just saw this random girl, and all of a sudden I'm making babies with her. Good times. Or yeah. You're pretending to make babies, but hopefully not making actual babies. But yeah, I mean, even the girl in the thumbnail was a girl that I just saw on the street, super hot, just Oh my god, she was so hot, and I did photo game because as you guys know, I do photo game, uh, and just asked her to model for me, and she was saying, where can we do the photo shoot? And I said, usually I do the photo shoots in my house, and she was like, oh, well, I don't know about going to your house. What about a love hotel? Like, if a girl suggests a love hotel, that's like, you know, that's super full on. Like, I mean, because there are, everyone, of course, everyone in Japan knows, especially Japanese girls, like love hotel. Like, that's where you go to bang. Like, literally, you don't go to a love hotel and not bang. So I just went to a love hotel and did a sexy photo shoot with her, and then had a good time after. But you know, yeah, just if I didn't approach her, if I didn't say anything to her, that would have never happened. I mean, that's what it's all about: taking risks, put stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, it feels weird at the start, but if you don't throw your hat in the ring, it's not going. You're not going to be one of those guys that is just basically cheating the system, because we're conditioned by society to tell us that we're not allowed, we're not supposed to do this, or it's not encouraged by society, especially in Western society. But this is us realizing that we can do this, and it's very possible. We're just behaving like humans. But most guys don't have they've been conditioned by society for far too long, and it's not getting any better. There's just more and more guys are getting beta-sized by the media, and it's just it's never going to go away as long as we remain human. You're always going to be able to pick up girls on the street, anywhere, on the street, in the park, in the cafe, in the store, in the convenience store, anywhere you see a hot girl, you have the potential to be getting very intimate with her if you make an approach. Let's see. Play on Woro says, which area do you do game in Tokyo? Area, I mean, there's areas like, the thing about doing game in Tokyo is there's areas that are known for doing game, but they're actually not good places to do game, because they're too well, like I said, they're too well known, and girls are aware that these are the spots that they're expecting guys there to do game on them. So there's places like Shibuya, which has the hottest girls in Tokyo, but girls expect game. It's pretty much like an outdoor nightclub, so girls have their guard up. So honestly, when I'm doing game in Tokyo, it's like random anywhere pretty much. Like I don't go to do game in places. I do game like when I'm on my way to work, when I'm like at the train station, when I'm I don't go to areas to do game. If I go to somewhere like Shibuya, which is the most renowned places to do game, I don't go there to do game. I just go there to hang out, or I'm going there just to because there's nightclubs, and there's bars, restaurants, and stuff. I'm not going there to do game, because you, like I said, you're just like, it's like going to an outdoor nightclub. You're just doing the same thing as a lot of guys there. If you go to Shibuya in Tokyo, you literally see dozens of guys doing game. So you don't stand out. So long to short answer, I do game at random places. I don't go to places to do game. I do it in my daily life. Like even if I'm going to the convenience store, I see a hot girl, I might approach her at my, coming out of my train station, on the platform, wherever I am. Basically, it's not, you want the thing about games, the thing about being a player life, you incorporate game into your life. You don't, you don't waste time. You don't waste like, you don't dedicate. It's more of a lifestyle. You become a player. It becomes a mindset. You're like, this is who I am. I just, I realize you're playing life. You're doing things that other guys don't do. They don't have the courage to do. They think you're not allowed to do that, but you can. Uh, there's all these fruits, forbidden fruits out there that guys think they're not allowed to have access to. But once you become a player, you realize, damn, these chicks, these are just as I can approach these girls just as much as I can approach them in a nightclub. And a lot of the time you'll do better in day game than nightclubs, because it's original. It shows like that you have I don't know, like girls are some girls are real impressed, and like like they're excited by being approached by a guy, and it's they think it's original or something. I don't know. I guess it's kind of genuine. I mean, it's a girl. I think it's like I guess it's a good, even though I'm not trying to look for a girlfriend, but it's a story. Like, these girls don't want to say like, oh yeah, I met my husband or boyfriend like when I was pissed drunk in a bar, and then we smashed, and but if you say like, it's like 2 p.m. He saw me in the park and he approached me, it's a lot nicer. I mean, that's why game you can be really successful at game, because it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not romantic, but girls might see it as being romantic. A guy coming approaching her, and talking to her or whatever. It's not as sleazy as like it's not as cheap as a dating app or a nightclub. It's genuine. The thing about game is it's genuine. I mean, I'm not looking to wife anyone up, but that's what these girls like. They watch all these movies, and they want to meet someone in a real way, like not in a like cheap ass like shit, some dive bar or some like crappy some app. Like it's so basic. It's not a very good story. Oh, how'd you meet? Oh yeah, we hooked up on Bumble or Tinder. It's like, that's why girls can be much more open. That's why the success rate with day game is pretty high. Because if you're good at it, like compared to everything else, it's high because, like I said, girls are interested in having an original story. Let's say, um, yeah. Yeah, know your word says, wherever you be, take every opportunity. Yeah, where I mean, you snooze, you lose. I mean, if you see an opportunity and you see your type, like sometimes I see my type, right, and I just cannot. I know that I cannot not approach because she's super hot. She's really my type, and like I'm so physically attracted to her that I don't care where it is. I'm gonna at least try. I'm gonna try and get her number. I'm gonna try. It's so simple, and whatever. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Who cares? I really don't care. There's nothing. I didn't do anything illegal. I'm not doing anything wrong. I just asked. I said hello. She ghosts me. Whatever. I move on with my business. I don't go home like and think, oh my god, that girl said no. Like she ghosted me, man. Fuck, I can't live now. Like, what am I gonna do? Jump out in front of a train? I don't know. Like, it's just so insignificant. I mean, it's just okay. I want to like she's super hot. I wanted to smash, but she didn't bite. The next girl may well, you know what I mean? Or the next girl, or next girl, one of them's gonna say yes. The thing about I don't know. You gotta start. Guys gotta start chasing girls that you like, that are really into. That's the best thing about game. That's the best thing about day game. You really like you can choose the girls that you really tick your boxes. because with online, you're sort of, you're not always getting. A lot of time, you're not getting the girls that you really want. Like the girls that you really want, you don't usually get them. Sometimes I've had some nice surprises where it's like she looks all right on the dating app, and then I meet her in real life, and I'm like, God damn, she's way hotter in real life. But that's kind of rare. Usually it's the opposite. Usually they're hotter on the app, and you meet them and they're less hot. But I've had a few times where it's like, they have only one, or they have some crappy picture or something, or one picture, and you don't really know what they look like. Um, and you meet them and they're real hot. But Miguel, gotta bounce. Great show. Yeah, man. Stop in tomorrow. Peace out. Catch you again. Um, yeah. So it is. It's all about taking the risks. And to be honest, it's not that much of a risk. What is it? What's she gonna do? Like, what? Like, tell you to fuck off? Like, yeah, worst case scenario. That's probably not even gonna happen. What percentage of the time does that happen? Um, you know, it's that's never happened to me. I've never had a girl tell me to. I've never had a girl curse at me for saying hello. The girl want to be a super bitch to say get cursed at you for saying hello. I mean, you just you just casually say hello. Compliment. I mean, when I compliment them, it's not like, oh, you're so beautiful or gorgeous. It's no, it's you. You say like, yo, hey, what's up? I like your style. My name's Mac. What are you up to? And it's all about just reading the air, reading the body language from there. If you can get that much out of the way, then you'll know whether to pursue or not. Yeah, guys, smash like. Do me a favor. Do me a solid. Good for the algorithm. Yeah, but that's pretty much what I want to talk about today. Yeah, you gotta take risks, and it'll pay off. I mean, if you want to build up a rotation and just enjoy getting with women that you really are physically attracted to and that like tick your boxes, then you got to start approaching girls that are your type. That's what I love about game, is just because I approach girls that are like, damn, she's my type. I don't have to swipe like, like I said, you don't always, let's be honest, you're not going to be getting girls that tick all your boxes online usually, uh, just because it's such a competitive market. You'll get with girls that you like, but maybe not necessarily everything that you like. But in day game, yeah, you can really punch up for sure, for sure. All right, guys. I'm gonna be back as usual tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Japanese time. I will catch you guys on the flip side tomorrow. So have a good day wherever you're at. Peace out. Catch you again. Bye bye.